DeMario is the manager of Atlas Salon on the 8th Street corridor in Washington, D.C. Well, last time we spoke, we got to know him, his story, and what it's like to be a manager and what he's like as a manager. If you missed that, please go back and check that out. Welcome back to the Hairdresser Strong Show. And I am your host, Robert Hughes, and I'm here with DeMario. DeMario, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? Thank you.
I'm good. Thank you so much. So thanks for coming back onto the show, and I really enjoyed that last conversation, and I think it was really helpful. A lot of people ask about what it's like to be a manager, what it's like to own a salon, giving a little insight. But my thing was, I thought it was interesting to get an insight into what it's like if you were my manager, and so that's why I like that one.
That.
So if you're listening or watching, and go back and check that out. All right. So today we're going to dive into the business and what is Atlas Salon and why do people, what's it all about? What are the offerings, etc. So I think maybe if you just started off with telling us a little bit about the brand and the story of Atlas Salon and the concept, and I will just kind of jump in and ask questions as we go. Sound good?
Yeah. So Atlas, I would say we're a boutique salon. We specialize in customized colors and cuts. We really don't do like extensions, and we don't do any hair retexturizing service or hair texturizing services or anything like that. Want people to focus on their natural hair and the natural texture and love that, what's growing out of their scalp. So we do that. But the concept is one guest at a time. We don't double book. We did at one point, but we found that we really want the guests to have all of us at during their experience. So that really is the idea, the premise around the salon, really trying to curate a space that everybody feels welcome. I know people say inclusive and don't mean it, but we really do want this space to feel like a home for everybody when they walk in, not just a business that they're walking into paying their money, but a place that they can come in and relax and feel like they really are welcome into. We don't, in that sense, we don't book types of services. So we don't do like a partial highlight or full highlight or something like that. We would do everything is based on the amount of time it takes to complete a service. So if it takes 2.5 hours to apply, process, tone, condition, cut, and blow dry, that would be the price. We have 3 levels of stylists, with the owner being the highest. Most of our stylists on the level 2, and then our intro stylists are on the lower price point, just to make sure that we can still accommodate everybody. We have a really good guest profile in that we are centered right in the middle of the Atlas community, 8th Street corridor. We have Noma going this way and Capitol Hill going this way. So a lot of different communities have very easy access to us. A lot of our guests walk to us, though we do have guests from who follow some of our stylists coming from Virginia and other places around like that. So in that regard, we don't necessarily need a stylist to bring a book, but of course, if they had clients who were willing to follow them, of course, we would be happy to have them in salon. The vibe on the inside is very coffee house. We don't have like a dedicated front desk. We have a long table, but it has a lot of chairs. We sit here, the guests sit here. But there are other places around the salon for the guests to sit. It's just a very chill place. We oftentimes tell our guests, you can come and finish your work at the table. A lot of our guests, while they're processing, will come up here and sit, and it's almost like a Starbucks, have coffee, have tea, have water, and just vibe out. We have
I
guests
love
who,
that.
like, yeah, we have guests who fly in for their services, and instead of feeling like they need to go check in or something like that, they'll just come to the salon and hang for a little while. So it really is just trying to create that type of environment, not only for the guests though, but also for the stylists, because A happy artist is a great artist. Somebody that's stressed out and not really feeling it, feeling being here. They're not going to give the best quality of service. They're not going to give them their best selves in general. Um, so we just try and make sure that everybody's happy at all times. Really, is what the gist of it is. Yeah,
Cool.
that's who we are. Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, that sounds a little. I got a little bit of an insight, so I'm gonna just kind of repeat some of this stuff back to you. Tell me and correct me, or adjust anything that I get that I'm off on. So you have your, I mean, one, I love the whole explanation of the vibe,
Yeah.
and the whole concept of the layout, and so you said something about making sure that the customer has all of the artists. What did you mean by that?
What do you have all of the art? Well,
All,
technically, a salon. So the idea is that every guest should be able to see every stylist, no
okay.
matter the level that they're on. Everybody should be able to perform um, on the same standard. We practice standards all the time. We're having a meeting about standards in a few weeks just to go back over those things again. So even if a guest comes in and is with a level one stylist, that doesn't mean that their service is going to be any less than if they were with a level three stylist. We all take the same classes. I mean, I don't do hair, but I take the classes as well, just to make sure that I'm constantly being updated on what's current and the latest techniques and things like that. So we're all very aware of those things. So it really is the idea of if they came to see Claire, who's the owner, and Claire doesn't have the availability, we want them to still be able to come in when they need to come in, be it on a 4-week, 8-week, 12-week, whatever schedule. If someone else is available, that they feel comfortable in seeing that person as well. So every stylist is for every guest at all times. Yeah.
Gotcha. That's what I thought you meant, but I just wanted to clear it up. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So I imagine that helps the younger people and the newbies, helps them build too, I would assume. Like,
Definitely.
yeah.
So we always tell people that because currently we're looking for stylists, we always push that we don't necessarily need you to have a book, because we have guests who are trying to get in. We have a wait list of people, new guests and older guests who weren't able to get in at that time. So typically the newer stylists have a bit more availability on their books. And so rebooking with them is a little easier. So it definitely helps in that regard. Definitely
Nice.
does. Most of our newer guests can easily be placed on their books. Yeah.
Nice. All you stylists thinking about getting a new job or getting started or moving into the area or whatever. I think that's a big positive right there.
We,
Okay, so speaking of which, if someone was thinking like, oh, I wonder if Atlas Salon is the right place for me, what do you look for in a new hire?
um so more so than the skill, because we definitely, want to see model work, and things like that. But we stress education here. So we also feel like we can provide you with that lift, as it pertains to your technique and things like that. So it really is the personality. When you come in, you would interview with me, and then you would need to interview with the team. And
Oh,
then if the team approves, then
oh,
you would interview with the owner.
wow.
So that can be changed a little bit, because sometimes if the owner is here, um, she might just sit in and listen. She might not say anything. You might not even know she's the owner, because she's not going to approach you in that way. Um, but it really is a personality thing. We need to make sure that you vibe with the people who are already here, and that I don't want to say create a problem, but we try and avoid those things. So we definitely want to like that synergy amongst the team. Because we are a team-based salon, we don't have assistants. So like I said in our last conversation, that I participate in doing the laundry and doing sweeping the floors and things like that. That's also required of our stylists as well. Understanding that a lot of people feel like they reach a place where that's something that they don't have to do anymore. But here you would. And if you didn't participate in those things, that would create a problem.
Gotcha.
Um, so it really is about your motivation, um, and just really your personality. If you vibe well with the team, that's like one of the main things that we focus on. Don't get me wrong, you need to know how to do hair. But again, we have Claire, our educator, who is an innovative professional for cutting. So we have that in house for us already. Somebody who can, who knows how to teach cutting if we need to advance that at varying times. We also have color classes that we take regularly. We have one coming up in a week. So it's constant education in that regard. If you need something that we notice, then we'll schedule that for you personally to make sure that you're always going to be on our level, or the level that we want to be on for all of our guests. So, um, yes,
So,
you need to be able to do hair, but you also, it's really just about your personality, really.
so tell me a little bit about. So I come in an interview with you. Is that is a sit down and talk type of interview?
On and talk. I just want to see, it's just a conversation, really. Why are you thinking about Atlas? What about Atlas made you come? Where have you been before? Where do you see
Okay.
yourself going? Do you think Atlas will be a place that you'll be for a long time? Could you see yourself here for a long time? It would be an introduction to the salon. Our process is about team pay and being a team salon. A lot of people come from commission and don't really know what a
Tell
team
us
based.
about that, actually, since you mentioned that. Tell us about
So,
team pay.
so really the main difference is there is no commission. Everybody is an hourly rate employee.
Okay.
Um, I will say starting off at minimum, we would do maybe like 22, 23 an hour, but there is no necessary cap on what you can make. We do raises yearly, or raise evaluations yearly. So it really just depends on you how much more you can make in that regard. So I wouldn't take that and just stick it like I'll be making that forever. But
Yeah,
no, that's
yeah.
um but it also allows us the opportunity to be able to make sure that we can provide the education that we offer, the constant products and things. We don't run out of things like that unless during the pandemic there were shipping issues that we
Yeah.
couldn't go against. But like if we make sure that we have those things. We offer a monthly health bonus. We also do bonuses every month if we make the goals as pertains to sales and retail. We also do a paid week at the end of the year. We call it a wellness week, that we close the salon. Nobody has to come in and everybody's paid for it. We do
Nice.
pay vacation, sick days, all those things that other salons don't necessarily offer.
Mhm.
We do that because the team, really everybody
So
pitches in and
I
does.
got a question. All right, so you start off, you said 22 to 24 or something like that an hour. Is that relative to the tier system? Like if you move up from a level 1 to level 2, does that mean that your pay increases also, or are those two things not the same thing?
They're not necessarily the same.
Okay.
Sometimes, of course, like if you do move from a level 1 to a level 2, then yes, your wage will increase. But
Okay.
no, not necessarily. Sometimes it has been a person will receive a raise but remain on that same tier just because we see the effort, we see that they're trying, we see that they are, getting the retention and all the other things that we're looking for. But we're just not ready for them, or they're not ready to move up to that next tier.
Gotcha. Okay.
It wouldn't negate you from getting a raise. No, that's not the
Okay.
only
So
factor.
there are raises within tiers, but also a raise with the tier
Hmm.
grades. Okay, well that's good. So that's that I would like to hear that. Okay, and then A little bit more, just the details. You said that there's paid sick leave. Is that standardized amount of days or
Yeah,
sick leave?
it's about, I think it's about a week. We do 4 days.
Okay.
Uh, we do 4 day weeks.
Oh,
Um,
okay. That's another piece of info. Okay, so 4 day work weeks, 22 to 24 hour dollars a pay starting, and a 4 days of sick. Is that sick and vacation, or those two separate things?
those are two separate things.
Okay.
Those are two separate things. Depending on how long you've been, I believe, like for me, I've been here for as long as we've been open, so about 3 years now. So I get 2 weeks of
Okay, nice.
sick leave. I mean, paid vacation. Um, Within a year, it's a week. I
Okay.
should set up just to make
Yeah,
sure
yeah,
that
yeah. I'm sure you got it
I'm
on a welcome package, but
right. But it is. It's
yeah.
all book, but it's something is around there. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, that's good.
So like we don't. We're also the type of people like we really want to maintain like a good work life balance. So it's like you know at the same time you have to consider yourself. Like if you need to take time off, like you're not sick or anything like that, you can let us know. We do ask for 3 months because we are so booked. But of course, we know that things come up and we would never be like, no, you can't or anything like that. Um, but yeah, at a certain point, after you've been here for at least a year, some of those days will be taken care of.
Nice. So you get benefits kicked in after you've been there for a while. So I like this. So I'm getting this picture of this person who is going to be kind of responsible enough to plan their vacations out. And of course, things come up, like you said, but and someone who's willing to like play their part as a team to help support each other, isn't too high up on their horse to where they won't want to help with laundry or sweeping, and someone who values education, because you said you had regular education as well as a structured environment, and I think there are going to be a lot of people that fit that profile.
Huh.
Is there anything else? Because like I do think I think this sounds interesting. I like this y'all's concept. I think it's pretty cool. I feel like a lot of the I feel like rising stylists too are really interested in stuff like this, because I talk to a lot of students at school and a lot of people within the first 5 years of their industry, of their craft and their career. Sorry, um, and and that's one of the most desired things is some form of structure so that they know exactly what their career path will look like, exactly what their responsibilities, expectations are. So I like the
Yeah.
clarity and I like the structure.
We try and make it as clear as possible. We are the type of people who we have a team lead. Her name is Angela. She's great. We call her an encyclopedia. She kind of knows everything. Um, so we're not necessarily looking. We want senior stylists as well as new stylists, but we do
Okay.
think we are a great salon for people entering into the field, just because we know what kind of people we want. Honestly, full disclosure, it is easier to mold somebody who is freshly entering into the field. Oftentimes, people who have been doing it for 40 years, they have an idea of what they do, and it's kind of sometimes it's hard to get them to see that no, things have progressed and we need you
Yeah.
to do so that requires a special type of person. But if they're willing to do it, then we're more than happy to have them. But younger stylists, yeah, please come. I honestly think it's the place to be.
Well, and also some other people that might be interested are people that are in suites and who. Oh, I got two types of people. During COVID, other than rising stylists, during COVID, a lot of stylists left the salon to go into a suite,
Yes.
and my prediction is that within 6 months, 6 to 18 months, you're going to see, if not already, you're going to see people deciding that was great, but they don't like doing all that work.
Yeah.
You know, they
Yeah.
like the money, but they realize it's all that work. All that work from that first episode, you and I talked about what it goes into running the business. That's
Yeah.
my prediction. The second group is people who have been in a suite and for a long time, even, but maybe it's getting to a point of their life where they just kind of want to like show up and five like right before their shift or whatever the deal is, and then leave after the shift. And they don't mind sweeping and doing laundry because they're so used to doing that for so long. You know,
Right.
you could be like a nice little like almost like somebody who's a senior stylist who just is tired of doing all that extra stuff and
Yeah.
just wants to be in a place where they got support and have a peace of mind, and like maybe they're losing it a little bit from all the stress that's been going on in the world, you know.
That's very true. Honestly, we will be the perfect salon for that. Because we really have, like I said, we when we first opened, um we really wanted to create a space that fostered like that team environment. Like if you have a question or if you need help with something, ask and we'll be there for you. You don't even have to worry about it. Don't be stressed about it. Don't be concerned that somebody's going to just say no or be like, I don't have the time or I don't want to or that's not my responsibility. If you win, we win. So it's just a constant flow of really working together, being there for somebody. So if you didn't want to have to do it all on your own, then we would be the place, the
Yeah.
perfect place to be. Yeah, definitely
Nice.
that. Yeah.
Nice. Awesome. Okay, so let's see. Well, I guess first, before I ask my last questions, is there anything that you feel like okay, I got one. How often do y'all do education for the stylist that's really interested in classes and stuff? Like, what is the yeah? How frequently is that happening?
So for us, it's often as necessary, or so we haven't been open. We've only been open for 3 years at this point, and so our first year we constantly had education. Um,
And
I
then
would say
COVID.
monthly, but then for the past 2 years there was COVID.
Right.
So,
Right.
but even in that, we would do Zoom education,
Okay.
um, and then I believe we may have had like two people come in to the salon. Of course, we're wearing masks the whole time and all of those things. I'm on the one here, so I don't have one. But like we do different types of education. Like I said, like we're going over standards of Atlas again with our current employees, our current artists, stylists. Next week, and then the week following, we have a color class, and then the next week we have another class on something else. So it's just a
Nice.
constant flow of education. We really believe in education. If nothing else, I would say at least um, every 2 months there's going to be some class on something,
Okay.
be it color
Cool.
cut. But we really do listen to the stylists. So with the class that's coming up in about 2 weeks, we had about a month or month and a half of it posted on the board, and it was just list the things that you feel like you need help on, so that we can then tell the person that's coming to make sure that the class is beneficial to you. We also do a class every year on personality. It's from our strategies team, and it really breaks down how we communicate best with each other, um, and communicate as a team and all those things. So it can run the gambit. It's not all just going to be cut and color, but that will be a focus. But it's also going to be other things that can help you, not only with the team, but with your guests and how you communicate and how different people communicate and um, how the business is run and our ideas on that. And that's why we're going over strategies and systems again, because we had a class. And so we want to make sure that we don't just have the class and forget about it. We're going to take the time to actually go over those things to make sure that everybody's on the same page about what it is we're doing. And if anybody has any questions or suggestions, we're going to make sure that we handle those for them.
Nice. So what was my question? um well, it sounds like It does sound like y'all are. I like all the communication and stuff. Um, so what if somebody wanted one? Oh, I know what my question was. How many chairs or yeah chairs? I guess that's how you figure out how many chairs do you have or spots do you have available? I mean, not no total. How many spots do you have total?
Right now we have it's 8. We only
Okay.
have right now we have 4 stylists. Right now we have
Okay.
5. Technically we have 5.
Okay.
But we're looking for 2 to 3 stylists currently.
Okay, cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
So and then if somebody's listening to this and they're like, "Oh, this sounds like a cool place." Where how should they go about getting a hold of you? Or should their next steps be? Should they go and get a model and like and then call you and be like, "Hey, I want to interview," or should they just like email you or what do you recommend?
The easiest way to do it would be to send an email is Atlas Salon at atlassalondc.com.
Okay.
Name of the salon. Just send an email. You literally can just put resume on it. We'll know what it's about, and we'll reach back out to you. But I don't want to limit people in that regard. So, you can send us a text message. You can text the number to the salon and we'll get it. Interested in talking about being a stylist, we'll call you back. You can send us an email without a resume. Just saw the video on our social media, which is Atlas Salon DC. Yeah, so however works best for you. If it is stroke a genius and you thought I need to reach out to them, but I'm not sitting at my computer, reach out and we'll reach back out to you.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I love hearing about local salons, but I really like hearing about new ideas, new concepts, and people who are doing stuff differently. And I love the whole approach. You guys sound like you're onto something, and I'm really excited to watch you all grow. And once things kind of like calm down a little bit, I'd love to come and visit and say what's
More
up.
more than invited. Come on
Awesome,
through.
thanks. Okay, cool. Well, thanks again for coming on the show, and I hope to have you all on again in the future.
Yeah, anytime. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Awesome. All right. And if you're listening on podcast, please give us 5 stars and follow us. If you're watching on Instagram or YouTube, you can hit the subscribe button, follow, like, comment. It helps support the channel. It doesn't cost you anything. And until next time, take care.
Bye.